Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and as you can see, it is Paydirt review time, and today I'm going to be doing another bag of Paydirt from GoldBay.com. Now, if you watched my last video, originally I was going to be doing a two-part with the regular 3-pound, 1-gram bag, the Build-A bag from GoldBay, as well as his rarest bag ever with the quartz gold that was over $200. But because I took a month hiatus, I decided to add in a third bag, which I will be doing today, skipping ahead of the other one, which is this one, their 3-pound rare wire gold bag. Now again, this is one of those ones that is a really big risk when you're buying it because it's not a typical GoldBay bag of Paydirt. A normal bag from GoldBay, you'll have a set ROI, guaranteed ROI, somewhere in the 70% range right when you buy it. This one is only 39.94%. That's what my guaranteed ROI was on the day I purchased it with the price of gold at that time. So almost half of what you typically get out of there, but it is supposed to have wire gold in it. So I'm really curious to see. It was a gamble. It was about $100, a little bit over $100. So let me weigh it up to make sure it is over 3 pounds. I've already weighed it, so I know, but I will let you see. I don't know, hopefully you can see that. It's 3 pounds, 6.2 ounces. So that's pretty good. I'm happy about that. It is in his new bags, which I like a lot better than the old ones. So I'm going to open this up, and while I'm doing that, I will let you read the description for this GoldBay Paydirt right here. All right, and as you can see, again, I wrote wire on this. This does not come like this. Luckily, when these bags were all ordered, they were all ordered at a different time, so I don't know if he typically writes on the bags which ones they are, because I honestly couldn't tell you the difference between any of the bags once I got them in. Now, I will say another thing, too. This one really scares me because it is the red clay. He does sell a bag of Paydirt that is red clay. I've reviewed it, and that stuff was really, really nasty. Typically, GoldBay Paydirt is pretty dirty. It's very silty. It will muck up your water and all those things, because it's real Paydirt. But his red clay stuff was a beast of its own burden. I mean, it's probably the worst Paydirt I've ever done, just for consistency and how difficult it was to pan out. So, and yeah, it's that red clay stuff. I will rinse this out. I'm going to put it to the side in the pan so I don't forget. And let me let you listen to some music, and we're going to classify this down. So be right back. Well, there you go. As you can see, probably the majority of it's in the +10 and the -40, with the middle being just a little bit less, but a lot of -40. So, and this stuff is very silty. I plan on having to change my water multiple times. And also with the +10, some of this stuff you can actually crush. So this is going to be pain as well, because I'm going to have to crush it all while, you can't just pan it. You have to make sure you work it with your fingers to break it all up. So I'm sure I'll find a lot of the smaller gold in here as well, but I will end up putting it just in the -40 because that's just the way I do it. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go pan this out and hopefully find some good gold out of this. So be right back again. Well, finished panning everything out, and I have to say that stuff was a nightmare. It was just as bad as when I did his red clay bag. You can rinse it and rinse it and rinse it, and this stuff just never stops putting out just a red muddy color. So it took a really long time. And even then, this gold, just because it's kind of like crystallized wire, it's really hard to spot in between all the rocks or in smaller pieces, just because sand and dirt tends to be, you know, more quartz shaped than it is just rounded. So it's a lot easier to find flat gold than it is this stuff. This stuff was pretty difficult. I had to repan a lot to make sure I didn't miss anything. But let's get right into what I did find, and we'll start with the +10. So in the +10, I did find some gold. A nice bit of gold at that too. So some nice little pieces. There is a couple little small pieces here. I decided not to split everything up, and I'll tell you why later. So there's a couple pieces here that probably wouldn't be +10, but just for the sake of it, I'm letting them stay, and I'll tell you why in a second. In the -10 +20, and for the -10 +20, I found even more gold. A really, really nice pile of it. You can see there. And as you can see, some of these pieces, a lot of these pieces probably wouldn't normally be in this classification. It's just, since they're all wire shaped, they're long and slender, they kind of either fell flat and stayed in that classification, or they went straight down and went through the screen. So it's really hard to classify all these just because long and slender and being a big pain. So anyway, in the -20 +40, I found even more gold. Again, a nice little pile of gold, all little wire or quartz-shaped wire, so pretty cool. It's pretty nice looking gold, I will say that. I mean, as you can see too, it is a little bit dull, so when it's with the kind of reddish-brown rocks, it was really hard to pick out. Now for the -40, I found, can't really say even more gold, but I did find a little bit of gold, which is what I'm guessing is the natural gold, because he does say he adds the wire gold in. So that's pretty much what I found for natural gold. Not really that much. It's not going to move the scale. So let's weigh this up, and we're going to start with the +10 as usual. So 0.455 grams. Take that off. Now let's do the -10 +20. .690. So I've got my gram I was guaranteed out of this bag. Let's do the -20 +40. 0.220. So I found about a quarter gram over what I was guaranteed. Let's just weigh it all up. This obviously isn't going to budge anything. So 1.380. There we go. Or 1.370. So, and I know I did forget my magnet. I know. New working station. I didn't even have it out. But if you saw my red clay video, this stuff in my last GoldBay, it doesn't have a lot of black sands in it or anything heavy. No magnetite in it. Very, very little. So if it had magnetite, it would probably be easier to pan just because it would help keep the gold in the pan. But this stuff is really, really just silty mud. And so no real black sands in it. All right, so I'm going to be right back with my ROI and my review. All right, finished calculating my ROI, writing up my review, and let's get right to it. Again, this was from GoldBay.com. It was the rare wild gold bag. It was 3 pounds. I received a little bit over 3 pounds, 3 pounds, 6 ounces, I think, but they say it's a 3-pound bag. It was guaranteed 1 gram of gold. Its cost was $99.00. Shipping was $8.95 for a grand total right here of $107.95. Gold recovered, again, right here, 1.370 grams. Gold spot on the day this was received was $43.11. So my gold right here is worth $59.06. Now for the R.O.I, I was guaranteed an ROI of 39.94%, but I actually got an ROI of 54.71%, or on my scale, a 5.5. Now I have to say, this is one of those times where my scoring system really kind of fails, because wire gold is worth a little bit more, but unfortunately there's no set price. Like, it's not like it's exactly 2 times. Obviously some bigger pieces will get some better prices, but I did look and it seems like this would probably sell for maybe $80, $90 maybe. I mean, I might actually even be close to getting my money back. Minus eBay fees and shipping, you know, I could probably clear close to $75 on this. So technically my ROI could be a little higher, but if you want to, it's a lot of work to try and get your ROI back up just to sell this little bit of gold. If I was doing it all the time and getting lots of wire gold, it might be worth it once you got, 10 grams or something like that. But for now, because I use the system I use, I have to give it the ROI score of a 5.5. But just take into mind that if you're like a gold collector or you're going to be reselling this or something else, then it's probably worth a little more and the score probably should go up. Now for fun factor, I'm giving this one a 9. I'm really jumping up from the 5.5 because of the fact that this is worth more than the stated amount before. Plus, it's really cool gold. I mean, really awesome gold. I mean, when I go through the gold, I always go through it with magnifying glasses, and it's really cool when you see it up close. I wish my camera, I could take really close photos of it. I might try and put one in, and if I do, it'll be right here. If nothing flashed up, then I couldn't take a really good picture. Like when I sold all my equipment, I did sell my macro lens for my camera. So I sold my camera, but I had a macro lens just for my phone as well, but I sold that off too. So I'll see if my phone can maybe take a good enough picture. We'll see. But back to the review. For Paydirt description, typical GoldBay, he's only getting a 6. He gives you just the basic minimal amount of information, just what you need to know, I guess, but not enough. So getting a 6 there. For quantity and packaging, it was over the 3 pounds, so he's getting a 10 for that and a 7 for the bag, so an 8.5 for the Paydirt quantity and packaging. For customer service and shipping, he's getting a 10 on both. I like him. He always ships really quick at GoldBay, and he's always easy to contact. You just have to kind of go through his Facebook page. So if you ever want to contact him or updates about his website or his sales or things like that, follow him on Facebook. I'm not a huge Facebook fan, but he is one of the few people that I actually listen to and follow. So check him out there. So total score for GoldBay's rare wild gold bag is a 7.8. But again, this is a little bit skewed because you could probably get a higher ROI if you sold this gold just as wire gold. The score probably should be around in the 8.1, 8.2 range. But because I have set criteria for my scale, it's getting a 7.8. So that's going to be it. All that's left to do is flash up the score and give away a 24 karat gold plated dime. So let's flash up the score right now. And for today's 24 karat gold plated dime winner, it's going to be Snake Gold. So Snake Gold, make sure you email. Your info will pop up here in a minute, and I'll send this out to you. And to everyone else, thanks for watching and happy panning. And sorry I forgot this. I was doing so good too, and I forgot it, but I'm gonna remember. I put it in a good place, so I'll remember it now. All right, thanks for watching, everyone.